Today we're going to make another card. This one is a little unusual. I have 3 of my dies here in front of me, and if you notice, some of them are different sizes. But the first one I'm going to use is the one in the middle, and I'm going to start with the sentiment this time for my card because I want to give you a little tip, and well, I'm afraid I might forget to give it to you if I wait until at the end of the card. I have already cut some of the die cuts with that die. If you'll notice, I have some that are already stamped and some that are still plain. So I want to pull this one out and show you exactly what it looks like. And this is it here. It has the nice lacy looking edges, and I just call it a banner. Now, whenever you have something like this, that's kind of got an unusual shape, and you get your measurements down, you don't want to have to keep getting your measurements. So what I usually do is, when I have something unusual like this, I make 2 or 3 and have them on hand so that in case I decide to make an extra card. And you will notice here that I've got my stamp down on my board, and it follows along the banner. You will notice that I have some of my banners already stamped, and I have quite a few here that have not been stamped. I'm putting my ink on my stamp, and then I'll put it down on my banner, and it should match up perfectly. I'm putting a little pressure on my stamp so that it will give a good imprint on my banner. And here we have it on my banner. It looks nice. Now, my tip for the day is, if you plan to imprint 2 or 3 banners at the same time, go ahead and leave the first one on there. Make sure your ink is dry, and then take the next one and put it right on top of the one that you just finished. In other words, put one label right on top of the other, and that should give you a second impression just like the first one, and in the same spot. Now, if you happen to move it just a little bit, try to move it back in place and double check it before you actually stamp. And I do this up to 3. I've never really tried 4, but I've done it as many as 3 in a stack, and that gave me a perfect impression 3 times. That is, if the first one is correct. Now I've wiped off my stamp, as I'm not going to stamp anymore for a while because I already have right many made. I'll put up my stamping platform now, and we'll work on the card itself. This is my die. It is looks just like a tongue depressor, and so that's why I call this card a tongue depressor card. If you don't know what a tongue depressor is, I used to when you go to the doctor, and he'll take your temperature, and every time he'll take this wooden stick and put it on your tongue, and you'd have to say ah so he can look at your throat, and hence it was called a tongue depressor. I like to use them like this when they have loads of color on them. And you can tell by the card sitting next to it that the only thing you have to do is just glue your little depressors, your little dies, shall we say, next to each other, and that makes a great background. But they are really nice when they have loads of different colors on them. I have made a mat board before that was a collage, and cut them out of it and cut them next to each other, and then when I glued them on, it made the same picture as the mat board itself. So, and then you put your banner on top of it, and you have yourself a card. The only time-consuming part of this is that you have to cut out your little depressors. For my purpose here, I have cut out 2 different sizes. And when you use the largest size, you can only use about 4 to 6 on a card. If you're using the smaller ones, it will hold 7 to 8, depending on how you place them on the front of the card. Here's one of the cards I have made. This has the dies going up and down. In other words, it's a card that's made in a portrait style. And notice it's also on a mat. By the way, you will probably see a little fly flying around. He is worrying me to death. I'm actually making my video at a campground, and I'm sitting out on the picnic table and to do my tutorial, and this one fly decides he wants to be the show of the picture. So please excuse the fly, and if you happen to have a swallow, just hit him, and maybe you can get by without breaking your PC or iPad, depending on what you're looking at the video on. This one that I'm working on now, if you notice, and the reason I'm not showing all of the actual making of the card, it's nothing but gluing the dies next to each other, and which way the card is going determines which way your banner is going to go on top of it. Now, the yellow one has a mat, and it's portrait. The green one that I have here is landscape, and it does not have a mat. And when you're working on this, if your banner is too long, which most likely it is, what you'll have to do is kind of mark it on the side where you want to cut it off, and then just trim it. But it's made in case you need a longer banner. And see, it will fit at it. And you can adjust the angle, too, when you are putting it on. As you can tell, I have been busy cutting out my dies. I have quite a few here that I'll be able to use. Okay, here's some additional cards that I have made. As you can see, putting your dies on the front is very simple. You just glue them next to each other. I haven't really worked out a way of gluing them on any other way than this. Here's one with a black mat that I like pretty well. And if you will notice up in the corners, I try to put some sort of an embellishment, like this one has flowers and the one has butterflies. And I need to put something on this green one in a minute. But that kind of adds to it also. So you might keep that in mind. And as I say, it depends on what direction your card is going as to which way you have the banner going over the die cut. The top two are portrait, and the green one is landscape. I'm going to pull out a couple of embellishments here and finish these cards up. Now, this is a photo of the mat board I was talking about. And here's one that I have cut up. I took 2 or 3 copies of the mat board. And so what I have here are some of the pieces that I cut off of it. And I've got them in the correct order as they are on the original. And so what I'm going to do is just glue them on just as they appear in the picture. And I will have a scene of it as such. It won't really be a scene because it's abstract, but you'll get the idea as to what I mean. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please come back and see me and see what I have in store for you for next time. It should be entirely different. Some of you may enjoy it, and then some of you may not. Depends only if you like to get messy. That should keep your suspense up. So, if you will, have a great crafting day, and don't forget, please subscribe. I hope to see you later. Bye.